Hello everyone and welcome to the post-event casting for the WhatCD Starcraft II Open. My name is NBadDog, also known as Brainwash. Here today I have another Protoss versus Zerg. This is of course still from the round of 24 between the orange Protoss PeanutButter, also known as RTY, facing off against the purple Zerg Boris, also known as ExpoTeb13 on the forums. The map is MLG Tal'Darim Altar. Are we looking for more of a macro game this time? Looking of course at the length of the map, which we shouldn't do, so I'm going to minimize that right there. There we go, though it is a 26-minute replay, so it looks like we will be seeing much more of a macro game than the last two games. The last two games have both gone down on being finished up on one base. The first game going to ExpoTeb with some excellent early ling pressure after coming back from losing his first hatchery, and of course the second game being won by RTY after putting on some losing his early zealots to some baneling busts, getting up those void rays from a Stargate in the back of his base that could not be scouted, and managing to snipe off the hatchery before any spore crawlers managed to do enough damage. And there we go, it looks like the probe is moving out across the map. I believe it was supposed to be an MOG map, though it looks like they have not spawned in cross positions. That'll certainly throw RTY off. It would throw me off. And we do have Boris going around, and it looks like he did not believe it was going to be cross position spawns, possibly knows something about the map that myself, the caster, and of course the Protoss player do not know. So there we go, the probe will be scouting the wrong way, so it'll take him the longest possible time. He's going to have to loop all the way back across the map. That'll take a painful amount of time. And what do we have here? We have an Overlord going out to near positions, but of course that is not the right near position. And there we go. This Overlord is moving to the correct near position though, and he will be able to see the Protoss wall in there. And we do have an early expansion coming down from Boris on, I believe, 14 or possibly 15 supply. We still of course have one gas coming up from RTY inside the base, possibly looking for some early tech play. Maybe get a cybernetics core out a little bit earlier. This wall-in looks a little bit more solid than the previous wall-ins have, and there we go, the cybernetics core being involved in the wall-in this time. Though those pylons are open to an early baneling bust, and we have seen that Boris does like to use those banelings very early on in the game. Likes to get it up before I can even notice, and there we go, the spawning pool is coming down. Got some Zerglings coming in a bit later. Still don't have an assimilator coming down from Boris, so we're not going to see some early Zergling speed. It'll be harder for him to put on some pressure and to control the map. The probe will have free reign over the bases, and the probe does look like it is going to come in and scout Boris's hatchery, as well as the drone at the same time. Will this be walled off in time? Yes, it looks like, though that is a very wide wall-in. Doesn't look like... Oh, maybe that wall-in is good enough, though. Doesn't look like the drone is willing to try it. Yes, it does look like that wall-in is a complete one. I thought possibly there was a way for the drone to sneak by. Will the drone go over here and grab some minerals and then come back into the base? It's hard to tell. And what have we got here? Ooh, a gas steal. Of course, that does not mean very much, given that Boris was not looking for that early Zergling speed, and still hasn't either grabbed either of his extractors himself, so that assimilator will of course be a waste, though it will give RTY a little bit of range. Let's take a look at what RTY's range is here. He can see the mineral line, not particularly useful. Can't even see when the next gas is taken, so that won't be a very useful gas steal there. Nevertheless, it is irritating as a Zerg player. Will force him to get out some Zerglings early on and possibly use his queen to kill the assimilator, though that will take for absolutely ever. We do have a drone versus probe battle going on over here. Looks like the probe is going to come back into the mineral line. Possibly the queen will be able to snipe it. And there we go. The probe goes in and grabs some gas. Ooh, definitely. That is irritating. And over here we do have the queen set up in order to block the probe's retreat. Will he be able to take out the probe in time? And yes, indeed, the probe does go down, losing some early scouting information. And of course, those four gas will never be able to be used by anyone. We do have Boris using the drone on patrol here, scouting when these rocks are destroyed for the third expansion. Though of course, I personally would be more intrigued as to when the Protoss player takes the second expansion, possibly just queuing up that drone there so that he can learn that as soon as possible. And what we got going on here, we do have the extractor being taken by the Zerg player Boris, though the assimilator is still up in the yellow health, moving down steadily from the queen. Things do take a while to kill things down, and we do have a bit of a move out from RTY, possibly looking to expand to his second base here. Certainly would be a very good option on this map. This map is huge, and there we go. There comes down the natural expansion from RTY. Still got the drone there though, so we can use the drone to scout that. And we do have much better creep spread this game, stretching down the ramp. though still is yet to connect the two bases to one another with the creep spread. I'm sure that is coming down soon. And double Evo Chamber, looking for some roaches. Got some roach pressure going on here. Interesting double Evo Chamber choice, given that he hasn't had that gas here, though he does have these two extractors now. Isn't mining from this one, so he won't have that much gas for upgrades. Could possibly go for the missile attacks. That's what I would expect to see with the roach. Geez, what is it even called? It is called a Roach Warren. There we go, the Roach Warren. I don't play Zerg, can you tell? And let's take a look at the production tab here. We do have a spine crawler coming down. Where's that spine crawler? That spine crawler is right here at the center on the entrance ramp, so it will make it harder for the Protoss player to move up. And a huge burst of Zerglings coming up, as well as Zerg ground carapace and melee attacks, so we won't be seeing that Roach Warren being used quite yet, possibly just a security. A little bit of an insurance policy going on there, though we do have a wall in coming from the Protoss player, so that will be hard for Zergling pressure to get through. He's got a double wall off here, so he can always fall back, of course, on this inner wall in. And we do have 3 gates, as well as, so it is transitioning into a 5 gate, still no robotics facility, and we do have hallucination being researched, possibly see some early hallucinated Phoenix for scouting information, and there go down the rocks. The Zerglings are slowly picking away at them. Of course, the rocks take absolutely forever to die from Zerglings with those 3 armor. The Zerglings doing absolutely no damage to them. And the central Zelnaga watchtower is, of course, secured by the Zergling. That is a useful Zelnaga watchtower, far more useful than the other 3 on this map when you spawn in positions like this. Of course, when you have cross positions, it is a little bit trickier to figure out which tower you do want to take control of. Taking a look around the Protoss base, we do not seem to be having any wacky tech switches, though we do have another hatchery going down from the Zerg player, of course, where he's cleared out these rocks, as well as lair being researched, and lair is almost finished. Look for some lair tech coming in, possibly some harassment with, I'm going to say, Mutalisk, given how much gas and how many minerals we have saved up from the Zerg player. And there we go, we do have a spore crawler going down, still no lair being researched. Where's the lair? I would definitely expect to see that lair do some mutiling harassment. And we do have an infestation pit instead, so we're looking for some micro-intensive infestors. He will probably realize that there is not a Stargate out on the map because of course, the detector, and he's not doing any damage to those overlords with the Phoenix. Let's see, we've got a huge sentry force, tons of sentries. Let's take a look at the number of sentries. We've got 11 sentries, combined with 4 stalkers and 3 zealots moving out against 42 Zerglings. We'll be looking for some very good force fields. He's not moving over here to take out these rocks. Instead, he's looking to put on some early pressure. Of course, that will be scouted by the Zergling at the Zelnaga watchtower. That Zergling melted away very quickly. And it doesn't look like this Overlord will be able to escape. Nope. Ticklers, even in that mass, do tickle you to death. Have you ever been tickled to death? I have not myself. Of course, I am still alive. Wouldn't make much sense. We do have a pylon coming down here that will be able to hold on to the Zelnaga watchtower, even if there's not a unit being selected there, as well as warping in a huge number of units. And we do have a huge stalker warp in. I wonder if he realizes that it is a primarily Zergling force he's going up against, and then he would have chosen zealots instead. Stalkers, of course, can get surrounded and do have a hard time combating those Zerglings. He might be able to snipe off this base down here, though, if the Zerglings... Oh, definitely the Zerglings will be able to move back into the position here, unless, of course, we get some excellent force field placement down so that those Zerglings cannot stream in reinforcements. And where have all the Zerglings gone? The Zerglings are chilling up at the natural expansion. The force fields have gone up, preventing any drones from escaping. And it looks like the hatchery hill here will be sniped. Looks like the Zerglings do not want to engage, doesn't want to reveal just how many Zerglings he has, and he will lose that hatchery. So we are looking for two base versus 2 base play here, and the Zerg cocoon is going down. Ooh, looks like it was an infestor too. That fungal growth could have been nasty. We've got Phoenixes going out across, so the Phoenixes can scout what the Zerglings are doing. It will reveal those Phoenix numbers anyway, even though he didn't want to initially. Let's take a look at the units produced tab. We do have 2-2 coming up for the